Roughly 4 years ago, my wife and I were driving down a very busy road when we saw two small dogs running along the side. Being dog lovers, we were really concerned because we didn't see an owner in sight. We stopped the car and went and picked the dogs up and looked nearby for an owner. Before concluding my story, I'm going to inform you of why volunteering can help make you a better person. I've been an active volunteer for as long as I can remember. It started with mowing my neighbor's lawn or fixing someone's computer, and now I try to actively volunteer in the community at least 10 hours each month. To prepare for this topic, I've done a variety of online research involving news sources and also government domains. The main points I'm going to cover with you are the social reasons for volunteering, some training benefits, and some volunteer opportunities. Some of you might think, well, I don't have the time, or I can't leave the house. Well, there's volunteer opportunities that don't require much time or the need for you to leave your home. Some of you might think, I already volunteer. Well, I'm going to cover some aspects of volunteering that you might not be aware of. Main point 1, the social benefits of volunteering. According to Lisa Chi, in an article she wrote for philanthropy.com, in 2010, nearly 63 million Americans volunteered. So she breaks down the statistics a little bit. And on here you can see that age groups 35 to 54, 30% of that age group in America volunteers, the highest. I'm talking to a friend about doing this as a persuasive speech. They said, why do you need to persuade people to volunteer? I don't see how that could be a persuasive speech. But based on these statistics, about 70% of America doesn't volunteer, so it is a speech that you'd have to persuade someone to do. One of the social benefits is networking. When you volunteer, you get out of your normal social norm, out of your normal social circles. You might be working alongside a CEO, plumber, construction worker, any type of field. Gets you a lot of networking contacts. Another reason to volunteer is for the recognition and gratitude. When you help someone and they know that you didn't get paid to do it, and you took time out of your day to help a complete stranger, the gratitude they give you feels tremendous. I just explained some of the social benefits of volunteering. I'm going to move on to training benefits. An article by Belinda Smith of healthguide.org, she says that volunteering is a great way to gain experience in a new field. While some might say there's nothing that you can learn from volunteering, they just use it for manual labor. While a lot of volunteer work is manual labor, there are special positions, policemen, firefighters, Red Cross. They'll train you on how to do things, and they're very value-added skills, which brings me to the main point of training benefits, is resume. You can add volunteer activities to your resume, and some of them are training things that you couldn't have gotten otherwise, like working with the fire department. They can also help with your school transcripts. If two students apply for the same school and they both have 4.0 and they can only choose one student, the volunteer work might push them over the edge where they might get selected instead of the other person. Another training benefit is it can be a pathway to career. When you're working at one of those places alongside a CEO, a mayor, a janitor, it doesn't matter. You create networking contacts that can be a future employment option for you. I just explained some of the training benefits to you. I'm going to move on to main point 3, volunteer opportunities. Some might say volunteering at a rescue mission is useless. You're just helping people that are too lazy to get a job. In fact, some people at the rescues are veterans with mental issues, or women and children who are abused and just need a place to stay for a couple of days. Another volunteer opportunity is to be a tutor or a mentor with children that didn't have a parental figure that could help them in school or help them apply for the first job or ask a girl out for the first time. And that's one of those options that you can do online as well, where you don't have to leave your home. Social services is another option for volunteer opportunities. You can volunteer at a food bank, you can volunteer at a rescue. The Idaho Food Bank is where I got these statistics. Idaho was ranked by the United States Department of Agriculture 29th hungriest state. Within that number, 66,628 Idaho children are food insecure. To break it down a little bit more, 3 years ago, we were ranked 6th highest in the country. Now, that sounds like a good number, but it's actually, you want the number to be higher. So if you were 50th, you'd be the best state. So we were 6th. Through the work of the Idaho Food Bank, we're now ranked 33rd. And that's gone from 6 to 33 in the last 3 years, which is awesome. Another volunteer opportunity is with animals. You can work at an animal shelter, which often will get overbooked, and they need foster care for the dogs so they don't get euthanized. It could be something you do for a day or 4 months. So it's a good option for people that don't have to make a commitment to having a dog full-time for the rest of their life. They can do it for a week. An article in Newsweek by Paul Andrew and Bradley Contento, Jim Gibbons, the CEO of Goodwill Industries, said, "We could be a stronger country if a larger base of the population contributed through community service and volunteerism." I couldn't agree more. To summarize, I've informed you of the social reasons to volunteer, the job training aspects, and some of the different volunteer opportunities. Now I'll finish the story of the lost dogs. So my wife and I were walking to the nearest possible house, and an old woman walked out. And you could see the look of relief on her face when she saw us holding her 2 dogs. She began to tell us how she had a really bad year. She lost her husband, and then a month later, she lost her best friend, which was her sister. 2 weeks ago from that, she had broken her hip, or got hip surgery, and she just wasn't doing too well. And the 2 things that were most important to her that were left in the world were these 2 dogs that she had. She thanked us profusely, and we started to walk away. Then I thought, how did the dogs get out to begin with? So we walked along her fence line, and she had a farm. And we found the hole in the fence, and right then those dogs were getting out again. So we grabbed the dogs, went and found the lady, got some rope, and we fixed her fence temporarily, and then we left. Now it's not your typical volunteer opportunity, but if you think about it, that's the true heart of a volunteer. Someone that's willing to help someone, a complete stranger, without even being asked. So please, take a volunteer packet with you today, and check out volunteermatch.org to find a volunteer activity that you might want to join. I will conclude with a quote by Nobel Peace Prize winner Albert Schweitzer. "I don't know what your destiny will be, but one thing I know, the only ones among you who will be really happy are those who have sought and found how to serve." Thank you for your time.
Good.